Hi there, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Tea Tuesday. I'd like to thank Kathy from Kathy's Favorite Things in Life with Patty for hosting this open collaboration. You can have tea. You can have hot tea, cold tea. You can have formal tea or informal tea. Or you can have a beverage of your choice. Just use hashtag lowercase letters. And today my beverage of drink is sweet tea. Thank you, Vernie. This is compliments from Vernie. Thank you very much. Oh, so good. Okay, here we go. Don't be silly, Mr. Twiddle. Oh my, what do you think he's going to get into this week? I don't know. We're about to find out. Okay, here we go. They were going to go on a trip. We'll see. They should be safe there because his hat band was very tight and he could see them every time he went out. He went to put them there, but then he changed his mind. No, it might rain when I was out. Then the tickets would get wet and soft. Can you believe Mrs. Twiddle left him to be responsible for the tickets? I can't hardly believe it, but she did. Oh dear, where can I put these silly railway tickets? I wished I hadn't gone and got them. Well, in the end, Twiddle decided that it was the very safest place of all would be in his waistcoat pocket. Then he would be bound to take them to the station with him. Well, let's hope he don't take off his pants and put different ones on. He would be wearing his waistcoat anyhow. Have you found a place for the tickets, Twiddle? Asked Mrs. Twiddle at last. Twiddle nodded. Yes, he said. A very sensible place, too. In my waistcoat pocket. Good, said Mrs. Twiddle. You simply can't help taking them with you if you put them there. Mrs. Twiddle soon started packing and finished. She got Twiddle to sit on the trunk and she snapped it up. She went to assist Julia with the cat. But when she got home again, the cat was there before her. It didn't like Julia. Poor cat anyways. It's a very silly cat the way it behaves, said Twiddle in disgust. It's not a bit of good you taking it to Julia. It will keep on and coming back. Can it catch mice and rats for itself? It always seems to me to look after itself very well. But Mrs. Twiddle didn't like the idea of leaving the cat without anyone to see to it. I don't blame her. I wouldn't leave my cat without anybody. It's getting chilly in here. Brr. I'm cold. Hot, cold, hot, cold. Okay, so once more she took it around to Julia, and this time it was locked in and was not able to get home before Mrs. Twiddle did. The great morning came. Mr. and Mrs. Twiddle had an early breakfast, shut up the house, and got into the taxi cab that called for them. On the way to the station, Mrs. Twiddle asked Twiddle to get the tickets ready. He felt around for them. But what was this? He hadn't got his waistcoat on. He was wearing his pullover instead. I knew it. I just knew it. Mrs. Twiddle stared at Twiddle in dismay. You stupid man! You decided to wear your pullover instead of your waistcoat, and now you must have gone and left the tickets behind. Quick, tell the taxi man to go back. Twiddle rapped on the window and told the man to turn and go back. He felt very cross with himself. They got to the house and Twiddle jumped out, unlocked the front door, and went in. He ran up the stairs and went to the wardrobe. His waistcoat was there. Twiddle ran his fingers into the pocket and gave a loud groan. There's no tickets there. My, said Twiddle. What? Oh, what could happen? What have I done with them? Now I've come to think of it, I didn't take them out when I took off the waistcoat and decided to put on my pullover. But where did I put them? He felt around in his pockets. He looked in his hat band. He looked into his shoes. No tickets. Twiddle, Twiddle, what in the world are you doing? Do you want to miss the train? For goodness sakes, come along. Coming, coming, yelled Mr. Twiddle, and hurriedly looked around the bedroom for his tickets. He looked in the drawers, no tickets. He looked on the washstand, no tickets. He looked under the bed, certainly no tickets. Twiddle, it's 10 to 10. You must come, called Mrs. Twiddle. And the taxi man hooted his horn so loudly that all the neighbors looked out the window in surprise. Just coming, yelled poor Twiddle, and went down the stairs 3 steps at a time. He ran in the kitchen. He must have put the tickets there. He looked inside the clock, no ticket. He looked in the picture frame, no tickets. He even looked inside the teapot, the milk jug, and the sugar basin. But there were no tickets to be seen anywhere. Mrs. Twiddle got out of the cab and came hastily into the house. Twiddle, what are you doing? Why don't you come? We shall certainly miss the train. I can't find the tickets. Poor Twiddle, his face as red as beetroot. Toot, toot, toot went the taxi man's horn. Mrs. Twiddle made a clicking noise that Twiddle hated, because it always meant that she felt very cross. I might have guessed it, she said. The one thing I asked you to do. Was there ever a sillier man than you? Well, well, you have probably put them down the sink, or in the dustbin, or even in the rubbish heap. So it's no good looking for them. Come along, we shall have to buy some more. Mrs. Twiddle slammed the front door. He went into the taxi cab. As he went in, he saw something lying in the garden wall. It was the cat. Look at that, he said to Mrs. Twiddle. There's the cat back again. I hope you won't take her to Julia's again. Oh dear, said Mrs. Twiddle in dismay. No, we haven't time. She must go with us. I am sure she would sit quietly on the knee all the time. What? Take the cat with us? On my knee? Cried Mr. Twiddle, horrified. You know it doesn't like me. Why, part of it nice of having a holiday was leaving the cat behind. It's always interfering with me. Well, Puss will have to come, said Mrs. Twiddle firmly. Hold your tongue, Twiddle. With losing the tickets and losing the train, you've done enough for one morning. The train could be heard whistling in the distance. It had come into the station, was now whistling its way out. How tiresome. Now they had missed it. Oh, Mr. Twiddle. Train gone? Ma'am, said the taxi driver. I know, said Mrs. Twiddle. Twiddle, take the cat, please. I've got the lunch basket to carry. I'll carry the basket, said Twiddle. You carry the cat. No. You'd lose the lunch things, said Mrs. Twiddle. Here's the cat. You can't lose her. She'll be frightened and stick close to you. They've arrived at the station. I must go and buy some new tickets, said Mrs. Twiddle. Now hold on to that cat and just stand there. So that he knew he had to do. Mrs. Twiddle went to the ticket office. She opened her bag to get her money, and there, neatly tucked among the coins, were 2 green railroad tickets. Mrs. Twiddle stared at them. "The tickets," she said. "They're in my bag. How in the world did they get there?" She hurried back to Twiddle, who was trying to stop the cat from putting her claws into his shoulder. "Twiddle, look here. How did these tickets get into my bag?" Twiddle stared and then he grinned in delight. "Of course, that's where I put them when I changed my waistcoat for pulling over. I remember thinking that the very safest place of all would be in your bag, because you never parted from that, and you would be sure to take it to the station with you. Wasn't I ever clever, wife?" "It would have been cleverer to remember where you had put them," said Mrs. Twiddle. "We have missed the train, but never mind. The porter said there's another one at 11 o'clock, and it's faster than the one we missed, and we won't be so crowded. And anyways, it was a good thing we had to go back, because we found poor old Puss, and she'll be able to have a holiday with us." "Oh my," groaned Twiddle to himself. "Why didn't I remember? I'd popped the tickets into Mrs. Twiddle's bag. Then we wouldn't have gone back and found the cat. Now she spoiled my holiday. I know she will. In future, it'll be sensible to remember every single thing. But it won't. He will not remember. Poor old Twiddle. He had the cat on his knee all the way to the seaside. And dear me, how she digged her 20 claws into him." Okay, folks, that's it for today, this week. Not much left. So I hope you enjoyed this book, Don't Be Silly, Mr. Twiddle. This is an open collaboration, and if you'd like to join, we'd love to have you. Please go check out the other ladies. There'll be a hashtag that will say Tea Tuesday. Don't forget the hashtag. Have a great, safe day, and we will see you for Grammy's DT meals and snacks on Wednesday. Bye now. Have a great night.